Nessa girl, I can't even believe I'm on the line calling y'all about a Grammy Awards show. I cannot tell y'all or begin to tell y'all the last time I even sat down and watched an award show, yet alone watched one in its entirety. Want to talk about it? Here we go. So let me set the stage so y'all can understand how this even happened. Me and my friends in Atlanta, we're all going through this thing now. We're like, everybody's over 40, establishing their career, and we just don't be having anything to do on the weekend because the club scene and the go out scene is extremely boring. So my friend Kent was like, you know, what y'all doing? I'm a cook. Do y'all want to come over here and watch the Grammys and I cook? And, you know, quite a few of us was on the text, and we said, yeah, it gave us a reason to get out the house and be social. And that is how I end up watching the Grammys. So I get over to Kent's house at about 7:30. And when I walk in, they're doing the red carpet interviews on E, and I see Taylor Swift. And here is where my commentary is going to start. I don't know which pre-Grammy show that y'all were watching, but is it me, or did y'all notice that Taylor Swift was getting, in my opinion, an unfair amount of airtime? When I walked in, they had her standing on the screen with her leg out in the kickstand and her nice red dress, red earrings, red lipstick. Listen, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Taylor Swift looked nice. But so did everybody that night. So when I get to Kent's house, I'm thinking, okay, she just walked the carpet. Bum. Then they show Lotto. They show this person. Go to commercial break. Come back. Taylor Swift again, standing there, taking her pictures. They talk to somebody else. Then they flash back to Taylor Swift. And listen, I'm not hating, right? If her career, her management, the label, the team behind her, if they have been able to wheel and deal in the background and make it where so she gets a whole bunch of airplay to continue her success, then you know what? She deserves it and she has the right team. However, just as a viewer, as a 41-year-old black gay male viewer, I just didn't get it. All right? I don't know any of Taylor Swift's music. I also understand that I'm not her demographic, but it was just giving me the celebration of mediocrity. Once again, and I'm not going to call her career mediocrity because they tell me she's a songwriter and clearly she's doing something right. But there was nothing so outstanding about that dress, them earrings, them heels, them Revlon red nails, or her hairdo as to why they had to keep replaying and replaying and replaying her look. Again, she looked nice, but it was not like outside of the ordinary nice. I just had to get that off before I jumped into it because that thing had not aggravated me a little bit. So the Grammys open up. First thing that I want to point out is that the Grammys were shot amazingly well. I love the stage. I love everything they did. I love how when they called the artist, everybody's face appeared on the sides. Shouts out to Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is actually somebody I look up to in the business, and I have moments where I sit down and I'm like, you know what, one day I hope to be in those spaces with Trevor Noah doing the type of work that Trevor Noah is doing. So Trevor, keep running, keep kicking down doors so I don't have to hunch and climb through a window, but I'm willing to do it. Clive Davis. Before you check on out of here, Clive Davis people. Okay? Baby, I know it's Black History Month, but I don't mind going through the bike though. I know people gave their lives and they marched from Montgomery to Selma for me to be able to hold my head up and walk through the front. But goddamn it, if I got to come through the back, through the service quarters, Clive Davis people, I do not mind. Um, the young talent. You know, a lot of the reasons also why I don't tune into some of these award shows is because more times than not, I don't be knowing the young people, the pop acts, the country acts, and I don't really care. I want to say this. First performance was Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish. I had to download the song. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Now I have heard of her before. Her little look, I thought she sung depression music like The Weeknd. I loved everything. I downloaded that little song that she got. What it's called? To tell y'all, just so y'all know I'm telling the truth. With a little piece of song called Hit Me Hard and Soft. Birds of a Feather. Billie Eilish. Right here. I had to download it. Really good song. I loved it. Loved her look. Loved everything she gave. This is the first time in my life I have ever even heard what the hell a Sabrina Carpenter is/was. I'm going to tell you something. I loved every minute of her performance. The Betty Boop hair, I love her whole persona. I love her little attitude. Billie Eilish's song on this show and Sabrina Carpenter's song on this song puts me in the mind frame. Picture this, guys. You're at the very nice outdoor mall, the fancy mall, not the one that's in your area, the one that your mama only went to like 3 times out the year. She drove 45 minutes from the house. It has the outside promenade, and this is the one that has the Starbucks and the Banana Republic and the Ann Taylor Loft, and there's a koi pond in the middle, and you've got your shopping bag. You just got a CD in your bag because your mom ain't got no money, and you got ice cream, but you just walking through the mall, the outside promenade, and you're hearing that distant little upbeat Gap shopping music while you're walking through the mall. That's what the Billie Eilish and the Sabrina Carpenter gave me. It gave me very early 90s strolling through the mall in a family-friendly environment. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, we need more of that in this 2025. So I loved all of that. Then they call Cardi B. Cardi B scored 10s with her look all the way down. I love the new thing that Cardi B is doing with her nails. You know what I'm saying? It's art. It's beautiful. I think for her to just recently have had a baby, she looked amazing. Colin sold her in that dress so well. Shape was on fleek. And Cardi B is going to always win because people just love her personality. And it was a very, very, very beautiful thing. Again, I don't really watch these awards. I don't be knowing the different categories. I know that Cardi has won a lot of awards. I know that Lauryn Hill has won a lot of awards. Did not know until last night that up until Doochii's win, that there had only been 2 female artists to ever win that award. And that is Lauryn Hill, Cardi B. And then you have this young, super creative, dark-skinned girl, natural in every aspect of the way, including beauty and raw talent. And she comes on and she takes award number 3. Now, again, and I hate to keep reiterating this because 41 is not old, but y'all already know where I fall musically. I had been seeing Doochii. I didn't know what it was. The spelling of the name had looked so confusing to me. I was calling her Doochii, Doochii, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I dismissed her. I was like this. I was like, oh, you know, this is another one of these young kids, NBA fat boy, Asian doll, this, KYN jelly, RPK fat boy, all this little crazy stuff that these kids got going on these days. I'm not gonna lie. I put her in that box. I was like, oh, Chad, this is some young girl stuff. I don't want to hear that. I haven't seen her on social media and stuff. She got a performance that she did, and midway through the song, it dropped to the ooh, chi wale wale, ooh, chi bang bang, ooh, chi wale wale, ooh. It dropped to that beat. It was on my social media feed. And this was about a month ago. I saw that, and I was like, and she was rapping. I said, "Oh, who is this Doochii girl?" So I had to wait, and then the song is called "Satanic Pussy" or "Crazy Pussy." I had God, I'm so old. I'm gonna tell y'all what the name of the song is. What's Doochii on my library? Hold on, library Doochii, because I downloaded it. Spooky Coochie. There it is. Spooky Coochie. What I called it, Satanic Coochie. Same thing. I called it Satanic Pussy. Satanic Pussy. And I downloaded Satanic Pussy. That was all I had heard though, and I loved it. Then it reminded me of Fashion Week. I remember she was down to the Fashion Week in some spandex panties and stuff, looking like Jane Fonda. Still did not think much of it. I'm not even gonna get to the Florida part. When they did the best new artist, and by the way, I love how they did that. They let everybody in the category sing, so America got a chance to see who the people were in this category. When they put that screen on Doochii and she started rapping and performing, I instantly fell in love. I fell in love, deeply in love. She was so creative. And creative in the most raw, natural, and beautiful of ways. The choreography was absolutely amazing. The intentionality of the performance, things that could have been subtle or could not have been subtle. Every single person on that stage was black like this and not like this. I know y'all had to notice it. And it wasn't no shades of the rainbow either. It wasn't no representing the whole African diaspora, baby. They was black, okay? Everybody was the same shade of dark skin, black, and some people be like, why you only gotta make it about race? Because there's a lot of people out here who go misrepresented or not represented at all. And that was the importance of that. I loved it. I loved the choreography. I loved, most importantly, guys, that it was a young black girl up on that stage having fun. That was the biggest thing that I noticed. She was on the stage. Everybody was dressed alike. All the boys looked good. They were dancing. They had on the Tom Brown clothes. Everything about it. When they flashed that camera on that girl and she said, you could see the startled look on her face, that she did not prepare to win or expect to win, but was just happy to be in the room. She brought her mother on the stage. And then, she started talking, doing all of her thank yous. And then she shouted out Tampa, Florida, or whatever. And she was like, labels, y'all need to come to Tampa. It's a lot of talent in Tampa. Now, me being from Miami, of course, I naturally rolled my eyes because it's like, girl, it ain't absolutely nothing in Tampa. And, I'm being facetious and having fun here. But we from Miami, we think we better than the whole Florida. As a matter of fact, we know we better than the whole Florida. It's Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and then Orlando, Tampa, and then everything else. Okay? But it's really Miami and Fort Lauderdale, which you really could make one. So it's like, it's talent in Tampa. Don't sleep on Tampa. And I just love what it means for her to be young black girl from a place that really has very little representation in that space, and to be like, I am doing this for Tampa. I don't think it hits the same when you're like, I'm doing this for the Bronx, when I'm doing this for Compton, I'm doing this for New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? It's those places have a lot of representation. Those places have superstars. You don't really hear about a lot of people coming up out of Tampa and making it to this level. And so for that, I am so proud of this young lady. and I hope that she continues to go far. I hope she stays on her creative track. I will say this. As I prepare to ascend in my career in this space, I realize that I am going to have to get a bit more immersed in these young kids' culture. But I'm going to tell you something. If the young kids that y'all are telling me that I'm going to have to spend a little more time cozying up to is Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter, Doochii, Chappell Roan, who we finna talk about. This is my first time being exposed to Chappell Roan. Teddy Swims, the other boy that sang with the blue jumpsuit on. If y'all are telling me that those are the young kids that I'm gonna have to buddy up with, then let's prepare to have a good time, because I don't have a problem with that. I actually like their talent a lot. I like their music. I like their artistry. Okay? What I saw on the stage with this young group of people that they brought in this go around was a lot of artistry, and I have the utmost respect for it. It wasn't a bunch of that dumbass yah crap that was thrown up against the wall just so we could see what sticks. Now this Chappell Roan girl saying, commentary, Chappell Roan, very similar to that of Doochii. Never heard of who she was. I'm like, girl, they got memoirs of a geisha girl down in the audience. What is all of this going on with the paint and the makeup? I didn't get it. Was turned off a little bit at the beginning. Then when the girl came out to present her and they did her little package showing that she was a girl from a small town in Missouri, so on and so forth, and then she went on to do her performance, I got it. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I love the small town heroes, the underdogs, and the ones that never would have made it. I love that they are getting the recognition they deserve. Then, obviously, her doing the LGBTQ piece, saying, I'm being the girl that I wish I had to look up. It's important. Some of y'all gonna say, why you gotta put your sexuality on display? And if you're one of those people who says that why it always gotta be about this, or why you gotta put your sexuality on display, I want you to understand that for you to even have that state of mind, you're privileged. Okay? For those who don't understand, you may not understand because who you are is the mainstream. So you don't never not feel not seen. But imagine going through life not having anything on television to represent you. I think I've told y'all this story before really quickly. Growing up as a kid, born in 83, raised in the 90s, there was never, let's think back to it. There was never anybody in the media, magazines, or television that represented a young Quentin Latham. Growing up, this is, listen to how self-deprecating this is I'm about to say about my own self. The closest character on television I could find to represent me was Steve Urkel. And I can't even believe I'm saying this about myself. That's how embarrassing this is, and that's how far I had to dig in order to find some semblance of somebody I could connect to. He was skinny, he was awkward, he was nerdy, smart. That's where it starts and stops. Everything else about Steve Urkel, quite frankly, was very undesirable. And that was what I had to kind of lean to as the character that represents me. For those of y'all who grew up in a space where you were like, I was Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell, or I was Moesha, or I was Hakeem, just understand it may be something that you take for granted, but you're blessed to have had that. The first time, and y'all can go back on my YouTube and find this, the first time I ever saw myself on TV was Pose. When Ryan Murphy did FX Pose. The very first time I ever saw myself on television was Pose. And at that point, I'm in my late 30s. And on that very first episode of Pose, you can see it in the video, I just burst out in tears crying. And I didn't even realize, I didn't even think it was something that I was missing or something that I needed until at 30-something years old, I burst out crying because the first time I ever saw myself was Pose. So I took y'all all around the block to tell you it is important sometimes that people say out loud who they are and what they are, because it makes that person, especially that small town person that feels isolated, alone, and misunderstood, it makes them feel and reassures them that they are not alone. Kendrick Lamar, loved everything, swept the Grammys with They're Not Like Us. Kendrick Lamar's win at the Grammys is a prime example of God making your enemies your footstool. Now, I don't know the complete catalyst for Kendrick Lamar getting into the studio and recording that song. I know he and Drake were beefing. Don't really know the ins and outs. Don't really care. I am speculating that he was like, let me just get in the studio and hit back. Not that he, sat down and really poured his blood, sweat, and tears, heart and soul into a diss track. I'm willing to bet that it was supposed to be more of like just a fun thing. Let me get at him real quick. And this man will forever be cemented in history for sweeping the Grammys for that song and basically like knocking Drake down 400 pegs. Could you imagine being in a beef with somebody? All right, the court of public opinion is out, and the song that your rival did, everybody's going up for it, and then for the man to just by accident just mess around and win a whole bunch of awards off of dissing your silly. But Drake, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think this is the beginning of Drake being dethroned, if it hasn't already happened. Like this, honestly and truthfully, Drake, the best thing for you to do in this moment is to never mention Kendrick Lamar again. That way, people can continue to keep y'all separate and not think of y'all as a package deal in the same box. Drake, stay over here and stay the hell up out of Compton if you know what's good for you. So, we get to the point, and here's where things get a little murky and things get a little fishy. Beyonce. We don't see Beyonce, at the very top of the show, don't do the red carpet for whatever reason. Some of my friends were like, y'all know, Beyonce always come late. I mean, I don't know if she does or if she doesn't. I don't know if that's part of her brand thing, like, oh, the queen has arrived. Or if, they was hungry and had to swing by Checkers and get a checker burger and a big Buford before they got there because all they had up there was some grapes and shit. I don't know what her reason is for being late, but she was late or whatever. We see her walking in, and then they do the best country song or whatever. Is it me? Or did y'all find it a little peculiar that she walks in and the minute she sits her butt down for 45 seconds, she wins the award? Okay? And listen, some of y'all get super sensitive when anybody have any critique about Beyonce. I am not trying to imply that she doesn't deserve the awards. That's not even the conversation that we're having. I just found it a little peculiar. That's all. It was very much giving. You knew in advance you were going to win the award, and y'all were back in the green room, and they had a PA tell your representative when you can come out for you to receive your award. That's what it gave optically. Now, if I'm putting 20 on 10, tell me I'm putting 20 on 10, but that's what it gave. She won the award. She looked surprised. It is what it is. I'm very honest with you. My commentary in the country music space probably isn't worth its weight in salt because I don't listen to country music. I don't know any of the other artists that were in the genre, and I also did not purchase nor listen to Cowboy Carter. So I can't tell you one way or another if she's deserving or not. But after she won that award, after she won best country award. And speaking of Miley Cyrus really quickly, whatever the hell it is she did with her lips, she don't need to do that no more. The tips and the lip. And the best award goes to, I'm like, Miley, you're already beautiful, but you're starting to look overdone like your mama, one of them Texas ladies in Landman off Paramount Plus. Nevertheless, I was saying to myself, all right, she got this. What did she get? Best country album or whatever. And I was like, then when they said that Taylor Swift had won album of the year, I think 4 times, and this would be the 5th time, or 5th time, this would be the 6th time. I was like, okay, and my mind started going, and I said, with all the chatter that there's been about Beyonce never winning album of the year, and all the chatter about how she didn't get any awards from any of like the country music establishments, I honestly thought the compromise was she got the award for Cowboy Carter for the best country, whatever, and that they were going to give Taylor Swift album of the year again, just to solidify her history. And with all the press that they were giving her over that basic ass, nice but basic shiny outfit, I was like, you know what? This was a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the BS. Then they called Beyonce's name for album of the year. Okay, preface. And I hate that you even have to do this, because these days, you know, a lot of y'all out there listening just don't possess the ability to be objective or process any type of opinion or commentary that doesn't align with what you think. Let me start out by saying Beyonce deserves every accolade and award she's ever gotten in every category. Hands down, she is one of the top music geniuses of our time. So regardless of the circumstance surrounding any of her wins, at the very end of the day, goddamn it, overall, she deserves it. Let me put that out there. Now, if you will allow me to, let's just have a small bit of nuanced conversation, and please don't get in your feelings about it. The win for album of the year, the only word that I can use, and I've been pushing this word to the forefront of my vocabulary a lot lately. The only word that I can use is uncomfortable. There's something that just makes me feel a little uncomfortable about the win. Preliminarily, Jay-Z's speech last year. After, you know, Jay-Z, powerful Jay-Z, stands up in a mass media public forum and smacks the hand of the music business, and then bam, she gets the award. That's one school of thought. The other school of thought, and this is the one that bothers me the most, I don't like that she got it for a country album. And even though we say and we know that Black people created the genre, we know that. We know that. But we're not going to sit here and pretend in 2025 that country music is not a white people's genre, all right? R&B is a Black people's genre. Rock and roll and country music is white people's music. And yes, it sounds ignorant. I don't need no fucking think pieces. You know what I mean when I say that, okay? It's white people genre. So it just makes me feel a way that the one time she does get album of the year, it's for her singing music in a white-leaning genre, all right? I would have loved for her to have gotten album of the year in her full Black regalia, goddess-like behavior. Renaissance, Lemonade, and I don't give a damn what nobody say. Dangerously in Love was her best album to me, but y'all know I am a true R&B head. I just would have felt better and more comfortable, and who am I? But I would have felt more comfortable had it been an album of the year, Beyonce Renaissance, with no previous speech from Jay-Z, no nothing, and she wanted that. But we live in an imperfect world. I hear a lot of people saying the Cowboy Carter album was genius. It was amazing. And I'm willing to bet it was. I haven't heard it because I don't like country music. Right in Rio. But it just made me feel a little uncomfortable, guys. I don't know. And then when you layer that with the walked in late, won the country award, when you also layer that with, by every other standard of award season measurement, she was completely shut out, which was systematic. Okay. I think racism and everything had to do with her being shut out. But typically there is a matching trajectory. Like, oh, this person picked up a couple awards at the CMAs, they picked up a couple awards here, and they go on to pick up some more awards at the Grammy. By every standard of country music measurement, she. All right, y'all. I would be remiss if we did not talk about this Quincy Jones tribute. It sucked. The Quincy Jones tribute 100% sucked. For this to be the one time that he is going to be celebrated like that for his musical accomplishments on the creme de la creme of music stages, that was the best y'all could do. And I'm giving all of the black people never satisfying energy right now. That Quincy Jones tribute absolutely sucked. That was the raggediest, most thrown together rendition of We Are the World. It was raggedy. It was lazy. It was cheap. It was non-entertaining. The Cynthia Erivo piece with Herbie Hancock, beautiful. Beautiful. I just knew that they were going to do something beautiful like that. And then they were going to move into some of those more popular songs that we knew. Of course, anything with Stevie Wonder on it is going to be great. Stevie and Herbie Hancock together, great. Okay, listen here. The Janelle Monáe Michael Jackson thing was just a no for me. It just was an all-out no. And it has nothing to do with Janelle Monáe, right? Janelle Monáe is great performer, great whatever. It just was not, you know how some things are just not the right fit? It just was not the right fit, okay? And notice here, I'm not talking about her performance, okay? I'm not finna get on here and rag her performance. She gave her personal best. She gave her personal best in the performance, but it just didn't do it. It just did not do it. It didn't. It was giving a drag brunch tease. It was very much giving a drag brunch tease. I mean, ways they could have spiced it up and made it better. Maybe if they would have had some crisp, clean, professional dancers behind her that were like really killing it, and pyrotechnics, and the Michael Jackson tribute left so much to be desired. And I think it's unfortunate when people are so hell-bent on putting somebody in their place or punishing somebody that they cut off their nose to spite their face, because y'all actually set Janelle Monáe up to fail, in my opinion, because we already know that the only person who can this time adequately do a Michael Jackson tribute would probably be Chris Brown. Again, Janelle did fine. She did her personal best. It just wasn't a good fit, which also lends itself to the overall Quincy Jones tribute falling flat. Nobody is up this morning sending around the clips of the Michael Jackson part, being like, girl, did you see? Honestly and truthfully, there has been more viral chatter over that video where Chris Brown was in rehearsal for the tribute than it was Janelle Monáe giving her personal best. And again, don't get mad at me. I'm not downing Janelle Monáe. I'm simply saying she shouldn't have been given that part in the first place. Now, I know it was an honor on her behalf to do it. And listen, another career highlighting moment for her. And for that, I'm glad for her. But it just fell flat. I think that Quincy deserved better. I think that this is not even about Michael. I think that Michael deserved better. I mean, they'd have been better off letting Janet Jackson come out and do a rendition to Scream. There are just so many different things. And it's funny because I loved how they put those packages together for the fire people, right? The fire victims in those commercials. And granted, a 30-second commercial takes less rehearsal time than a 5-minute performance. But it feels like so much tender love and care went into those fire packages and those fire commercials, and it just feels like that Quincy Jones tribute was haphazardly thrown together. Sorry, absolutely not sorry. Anywho, y'all, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. If you're new around these parts, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll call y'all later. Bye.